Hi everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you are new to the channel. My name is John McCoy. I'm an illustrator based in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we're continuing with part 8 of our Learning to Draw using Andrew Loomis's Fun with a Pencil. Now, in the previous videos, we were going over expressions, and surprisingly, I realized that going forward in the book, Andrew Loomis does not go over all of the expressions he talks about on page 25, but instead, we've done these 3, and we're going to go and try to do these 5 today because we're moving on to more complicated things. What's obvious to me is that he thinks that this page and then understanding these expressions is kind of enough to explore. And what he talks about is in these next few exercises, have fun with it, learn how to do some of these expressions, and then understand that in certain cases, certain facial features are going to define certain expressions, and certain expressions share the same facial features. For example, in surprise, anxiety, pity, elation, fear, anticipation, delight, and the brows are elevated. So although one is anxious and one is delight, the brows are raised. They seem to be on the opposite sides of the spectrum of emotion, but that's the case. In doubt, perplexity, suspicion, disgust, disdain, annoyance, anger, fury, concentration, and hilarious laughter, the brows point down. So it's interesting how like some of these are angry, some of them are happy, but yet the brows point down. Same with this one. They share commonalities of features. When it's all said and done, you must feel the expression you want. And this is really important, I think. He says, make faces at yourself in a mirror. If anybody catches you, claim that you are smart and they are crazy. All right, so we're going to begin. I've already laid in these book balls with their proper axis and the directionality of the face, and then we're going to jump in and put the pieces in. So now we're drawing really furious. So remember those brows right on this line. Feel the brows tightly knit down and elevated on the corners. And now we're going to put in via the ear line. That ear, you can see a little bit of the left ear on this side. The nose comes down like this. I apologize for all the noises in my house. And the chin is like this. And then we have these little side pieces, the jowls. Okay, so now we've got that. We're going to go with the second layer, putting in those eyes. The eyes are actually open, as if paying extreme attention to what is focused, showing this anger, this sheer rage, basically. And the skin is furrowed up at the top, showing that the eyebrows are pushing the skin up. And then, of course, we have the details of the ear. And here's the fun part. We have this mouth, which is open. And then the bottom lip like this, with the teeth in such a way like that. Now we're going to go over the final pass on this guy. So jump right in with your ink and have some fun with it. Draw some character, shade in that brow. You got these cheek lines. All these lines tell a story about the character you're drawing. What a rage this guy is in. So now we're drawing those eyes, which really just show sheer concentration but anger at the same time. Very interesting character here that we're drawing. These lines are pushed down, forced down almost in a way. And that chin, you can see the inside of the side of the mouth using that line. And down here, the same thing. You can see the inside of the side of the mouth. And this is just like he said, that's why I think it's important to have that looking in the mirror and feeling the expression. Because if you're looking at this guy and you're really feeling that expression, and draw yourself as well. That's a great way. The eyebrows really say a lot there. I mean, if you look at the movie Angry Birds, look at the eyebrows on that guy. You know what I mean? That really tells the story. And feel free to move the features down if it's not working for you. Like I moved that ear down because this is a learning experience, right? So that pretty much wraps up this character. I am going to add this little stuff to kind of complete out the top of the head, this hairdo. The hair says a lot because it's like disheveled. This character's is just so angry that he's just disheveled. So that would be really furious. Now we move on. We jump over to the next characteristics. 6 minutes here. We got enough time if we jump in and we make this video a little longer than the other ones. That's all right. We're going to jump in with this characteristic. These characteristics don't have names. This is where Andrew Loomis is saying, have fun with it. Just draw what you want to do. And start to realize that the elements like the eyebrows and so forth explain what's going on. But always start with the secondary thing, with this cheek and the nose. And the cheek is puffed out on the side. The eyebrows are way up here. And we have this little tiny mouth. And the cheeks and of course on the ear line we have that ear. Now, in the second pass, he draws the eyes, which are quite wide open. I usually like to have my references on the left, but I suppose that's possible. Let's switch that over. Yeah, that's better. Now I can actually reference this image from the left. I like to have my reference. If you're right-handed, it's nice to have your reference images on the left. Now, this character has like this little mustache and little... just see all these lines that define characteristics. Okay, now we go over the final pass. Ran out the ink on this one. And what is this expression? It's like a surprise. Right? Got the nose. The eyes really show the surprise. The fact that they're open. And these little tiny eyes like, whoa, what's going on? What is that? Yeah, he's looking like, you know what I mean? That you can hear, you can feel what the character might be thinking. Feel free to change those features a little bit. Having a sense of when you're following Andrew Loomis's techniques like this, having a sense of direction based off of copying what he's going is good, but to a certain point. You don't want to get to a point where you're so rigid you're not learning. You need to be open to these eyebrows. This is what really, the angle of the eyebrows and how far they are up on the head really shows what this character is going through. And then we have this little mouth going, oh my gosh. And this little mustache adds character. But obviously the mustache could be left on or taken off because it isn't absolutely necessary for the expression. If we're just studying the expression, that's something you could. All right, let's move on to the next face here. We have, we're 9 minutes here, but we are going to try to finish these real quick. We're going to draw these little features here. His eyebrows are like curled up in such a way that almost looks sad. And the nose is really far down because remember, this book ball is turned in such a way that it's facing down. And then it's got these little side cheeks, the ear. Remember, the ear line has to fall on the eye line. Although you might be tempted to put it up there, don't. So then we're putting the little chin. And then these little features here, the cheek, a little bit of the ear there. And now we move on to the second one. These eyes, I'm telling you, the eyes, Let's make sure those eyes are close to the eye line there. These eyes really tell the story. He's looking up like, what's going on up there? He's worried. He's a worried character. Really, in that pass, Andrew Loomis didn't change too much. He added a few more details. The eyes were very important. Now we're going to go over with the ink here. So we got, my pencil's running away. All right, then we got these little, I like to start with the nose. I don't know why, but that seems to like ground the character in. That's not something necessarily that Andrew Loomis says, but I feel like it does help. We're going to move the eye a little bit over. And then we're going to put that eye there. We're just going to draw that in. And then he's actually moved the eyebrows down just a little bit, but they still have that raised feature. And that in the little hair here goes like that. And then he's got this little mustache. Little lip. Really is kind of like a sad little face looking up. And then these wrinkles he puts in here because he's showing that the character is raising its eyebrows. All right, there's that character. We got 2 to go. We're at 11 minutes here. We got this character, which looks perplexed maybe. Looks like he's kind of checking something out. It almost looks like a Mario character or something. These little eyebrows. Right along the eye line, we got the nose coming out. And these little bags under the eyes. The hair. Following the contours of the Blook ball. And that little jowl line and the cheek. And then we got the other cheek here. So we basically finished that one. Now we're going to go over and put the eyes. The eyes is the main thing he's adding when he puts these little characters like this. This eye looking to the side. And following the eye line, that's how we're going to find the placement of the second eye. Follow that eye line that we have there. And let's go in and do our ink on this guy. He actually did a little bit of shading here, like a cross-hatching shading under that nose, which he doesn't do for all of his characters, which is really just showing he's having fun with it. Look at the angle of the eye there. That angle right there says a lot. And then we got another angle here. The eye is very much looking that way. And then we got all these little features, the bag under the eye, these following this line, we go up and we get the eyebrow raised. And then we got the other raised up like that. It's kind of like a harmless expression. He's not really like expressing a dramatic expression here. But again, that's important to be able to draw even to the subtlest of features, because if we want to draw characters and what they're going through, they're not always being dramatic. They're not always be like this guy. And then he loves the mustaches. I do too. I think that's a great look for these little characters. The lip is like pushed up against the nose there. It says something like, I don't know what's going on here. That's kind of and he adds a little bit of shading there. All right, let's wrap this guy up. We got one more face to draw. You guys are doing a great job. You're following along. And we got this little hair here coming up. And then the shape of the head. All right, now we're on the last character, and this guy's obviously, what is he doing? He's laughing. And there's some smudging here, but the point is to learn. And so that's not. So this character, you might think he's looking down, but actually his head is so far up that it's showing that his angle, the head is extremely far up here. And he's got this cheek all the way up here. The book ball has been turned in such a way that it's facing almost directly up. And that line still defined there, and the chin is down here. And then of course the ear line on the side here. You have basically two parts of the ear, that top lobe and then the bottom lobe. And then the hair is right here. So we've drawn that pass. Let's go on to this pass. He's starting to draw the little nostril here. This is where he adds in, well, here's a mustache. We're following this one. And here's where he draws in that little, the mouth. Open, it's an open mouth. And the corner of the cheek is this, so he's laughing. And then they have that pulled up cheek line. And then the eyes right here closed, which is what we learned in that other page over there. And the eyes are starting to close and stuff because the character is laughing. Now we're going to follow on the final pass here with the ink. Let's jump in here, put in these little nostrils. I don't know why, but I always like to start with the nose. And then this feature. And then you've got this curve. Expressing the top of the mouth. There's almost like teeth here. And then this line goes down. You got the bottom lip here. And that pulls up. And then you've got to shade this in to show that the mouth is open. Then we got these little mustache pieces. Curled up mustache. And then we got that little cheek. You can see how with the passes I edit what I want to put in there and stuff like that. So ball started a little bigger, but it's okay. That was a point of departure. We're sticking to the axis and the symmetry and the overall position, but we can change a little bit, shave off a little piece here and there. Andrew Loomis does say that. The eyebrows are up here, top of the head, little hair, and then the closed or almost closed eye, and then the little wrinkles. So this character, and then make sure that we define this line because this is really important, showing the edge of the cheek, the pulled up angle that we talked about earlier in other videos. We got that character. It's a little more complex because the book ball is looking up, and that's something, it's not a common position that we would draw. But there you have it. We went a little over on this video, but I feel like we did a great job, and I feel like we learned a lot. Thanks for joining me this time, learning with Andrew Loomis's Fun with a Pencil. Learning to draw with fun with a pencil. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos like this. And give a like to this video if you could. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, and have a blessed day.